Hey, this is Kineer and welcome to an Enshrouded guide video. If you're like me, you may not have played Enshrouded for quite a while. I did play it some time ago, and I jumped back in, I went ahead and created a brand new character, and as I started to progress, I noticed the same armor sets that I'd seen before, but there was something different. They had different ingredients, or new ingredients. I wasn't really sure, but they didn't ring a bell with me. It has been a while. This one in particular, the giant critter scales, seems to be a little difficult to find. The rest of those I was finding in the Shroud, like Shroud sacks, Shroud mushrooms, and others. Those were pretty easy to find just by wandering around inside the Shroud and killing enemies in that area. However, and the corrupted boar tusks as well. Those weren't too bad. I'll show you where those are at. But the giant critter scales were required for each of these armor sets from the hunter, both the ranger set and the marksman set, and you needed 3 of those apiece. And the alchemist, Balthazar, has at least 2 sets. I think he has 2 sets that you need those for as well. Let's go take a look at him. Yeah, Balthazar has the healer set and the mage set. That requires, let's see, bug dust. That's pretty easy to get. Giant critter scales. You need 3 of them for this one as well. So in order to make these armor sets, we're going to need giant critter scales, and that's the difficult one to find so far. But I have found a good spot where I can farm all of those and find a couple of other nice rewards that you can pick up easily while you're there.
Glad to help.
And finally, let's go look at the blacksmith and see what his armor requires. I think he's a little more reliant on the corrupted boar tusks instead of, let's say, the bug parts. But he does require giant critter scales. It's worth noting he needs 5 for his sets. So in order to do a single set, you're going to need at least 5 of these giant critter scales. If you want to do 2 sets, you're going to have to find the giant critter scale mob, which I think is the fell critter queen, and you're going to have to kill her twice. So we may have to respawn or reset the game or just wait it out. There's a couple techniques to do that. None of those are new, I think, to the game. So those are the 6 sets of armor that you can build, and they all require giant critter scales. So let's see if we can find them. Now I have a place I like to farm things from the Shroud. Let me see if I can get this on the map. And you're brought here as part of the main quest line, or at least the quest for the alchemist, in order to get his mortar and pestle. So I went ahead and put an altar at the top of this hill right near the Mistburied catacombs and near the Lone Thistle area. That's an amber site, and this is the marker where I'm going to do the fight. Now, one of the things I do here, I am using explosive arrows for this fight just because it makes it a little easier for me, and I've advanced to that level. Depending on your comfort with combat or your technique, that's going to be different for you. I'm an archer, kind of stealth, Assassin's Creed type Enshroud player, and I do like to have some arrows with a little punch to them. So I jump over here to the right, and I will fly past this respawn point. I think I heard it register, and down into the Shroud. Now there's a large rock as you come down this path. I'm going to go to the right, not the left. If you go to the left, there are 3 corrupted boars. Keep that in mind. Those are worth farming. But to the right, there are going to be 2 normal fell enemies usually. Sometimes it's only 1. Sometimes, most of the time it's 2. I'm just going to take those guys out with arrows. I don't see the other one here. There he is. He is a bowman, so we'll go ahead and melee him out. He's pretty easy. He doesn't have much of a defense. Okay. So again, there's the rock, and then we're just gonna head north past the rock. We're looking for this other rock with 3 little blue dots on it from a distance. And there are gonna be 1 or 2 additional fell enemies in this area that we want to take out before we summon the mini-boss, because that's where we have the chance of getting the giant critter scales. So there's our guy. And he has a buddy. So I've got a swordsman and a guy with a mace. I'm not really the biggest fan of melee. I'm kind of a ranged character, but we'll see how these guys go. Let's lead them up here into the sunlight. Nice parry. Got him stunned. We're going to back away while that guy takes a shot at me. See if we can get past him and go ahead and finish this guy off. Let's see if we can position ourselves behind that guy. He's a little slow, and we'll take him. We're just going to power on through and take him out. He did take a bite out of us, so let's well, not literally a bite, but he did take a hit on us. So we'll go ahead and heal up here. You know, it's worth noting as you come over here, you might as well, you know, bring food and drink and healing potions and bandages and whatever else you need for your combat. This doesn't actually take a lot of time. However, I think the boss difficulty is probably on the level of the Fell Thunderbrute you find in the first Elixir Well. So we're going to go down to this blue circle, and I need a Shroud core in my inventory. Summon it, and there she is. It is the Fell Critter Queen, I think is the formal name of it. I'm just going to hit her with explosive arrows. Oh, she got a hit on me. She's not going to survive this onslaught. There you go. And knock her down, and we get the giant critter scales, and we get 5 of them. And in my testing, 5 is the normal number. Oh, you're gonna get a ton of these, so just get a melee weapon and mow these guys down and pick up their ingredients. If you're gonna build those mage sets, you're gonna want the alchemist to make bug dust or whatever it's called, and you're gonna need the stuff they drop. I will note that some of these say you can collect items, and I don't seem to be able to collect any items. So let's go down here and take a look. What's left is a hole in the ground, and you cannot use it to summon again. Now at this point you can... There she is. It's well lit. We can see her. She's a giant critter. Not too difficult. So we have the scales. We may have, I don't remember if I brought one Shroud core with me and if she dropped one or not, or if that's just the second one that I have in inventory. So I will note that only the Fell Thunderbrute I have seen seems to return a Shroud core. So it's kind of a 1-for-1. You can use him and then use the Fell Thunder core he drops to summon another one if you want to get that the Fell Critter Queen. However, for the others, I sometimes have to have the alchemist make them. And this is the technique you use if you want to reset it. I just did this back in my base because I went back and dropped off the giant critter scales and put them in a box. And then I just go back over to Lone Thistle and jump down again after resetting this, and the blue circle will be in the ground again. All the enemies will be reset in the area, so I'll have to kill the 2 guys to the right of the rock, and I'll have to kill the 2 guys, the 1 to 2 guys that are near the summoning point again. But I'll go ahead and do another summon here. Let's get down here. I see one. And the other one revealed himself by shooting at me, and that was his last mistake. So always loot these guys, pick everything up. You want the Shroud Spores, all the Shroud Spores and runes that you can get. Those are all super useful as you play the game. We're going to head back down to the summoning spot, and I can see it already. It's already here. It's worth noting to the left there are 3 boars, corrupted boars, that you can farm. There are also 3 corrupted boars to the right as well, a little deeper into the Shroud. Take care of these guys. Is it just 1 this time? All right, so I'm going to switch over to my explosive rounds again. Come back down, drop the Shroud core, see what we get. That's Fell Thunderbrute. He is not, for some reason, very susceptible to explosive rounds. So we're going to switch to copper, and I'm just going to play my little runaway archer game with him. This is one of the reasons I want that marksman set for the stamina recovery boost, and also for the skill shot boost, so I can maybe get a little bonus on headshots. Just playing around with my build a little bit. We'll take care of this guy pretty quickly. Just keep dodging past him because that's the way to do it. No point in letting him hit us. And he's down. And we'll get a Shroud core off of him. So we could easily at this point in time go back up and reset and do this again. I've done this 7 times maybe. 7 or 8 times, I'm not sure what it is, and I think the queen only shows up, the Fell Critter Queen shows up maybe 20% of the time. It's just my rough estimate. I've seen her twice out of 7 or 8 times, and you get You get fell bosses. They're little mini bosses. They're not difficult that have bows. You get swordsmen, a guy with a shield, and others. And they just drop the legendary runes, nothing else. And then the Fell Thunderbrute will drop the new cores. And so I'm going to chop down these mushrooms here. And the mushrooms with the round tops only drop 3 of the Shroud mushrooms. The mushrooms with the flat tops will drop 5. Right down that way is where the other boars are. I can't see them right now for some reason. But they light up nice and blue, so they're not terribly difficult to find. I think I saw one right there. I'm not gonna farm those guys just yet. I'll come back down in just a minute and farm some of them. These little mushrooms provide you with Shroud liquid. That's the same Shroud liquid you got from the little puffball mushrooms in the starter area, so that's useful as well. All these are necessary in order to build these armor sets. So get used to spending a little time in the Shroud, just collecting materials. So like I said, I've done this 7 or 8 times, about a 20% rate of the Fell Critter Queen dropping. We'll head back down and look for boars. Wait a minute, I didn't get my full Shroud protection. Hold on for just a second. Let's go ahead and get back up to 7 minutes. That's the maximum I have right now. And we're gonna go to the left of the rock this time. There are 3 boars in the area. Now, I don't like fighting these 3 boars up close and personal. First of all, because I don't play a lot of melee that way. And they have a knockback or a stun effect, so I'm going to take, there's one down with the arrow. So it looks like I'm hitting him, but I'm not getting like health meter register. So there we go, now we got him. And we're doing some real damage. So that's 2 down, there's 1 more in there. Take the high ground here and see if we can get a shot on him. Okay, so there's 3 of the boars. And the boars are going to give us 2 ingredients that we want. Corrupted boar tusks and the shroud sacks. And like I said, there's at least 6 of them down here, so every time you reset you could get up to 6 of them. Sometimes I've seen fewer. I don't really know what the spawn rate is driven by, but like I said, on a good cycle you can get 6 of them. And so if you're willing to keep making shroud cores, like go to your alchemist and give him shroud spores and liquid shroud, I think is it, you can do that. So I'm going to go back up top here, and I'm going to show you a spot to farm more of the materials. Now, I like the altar up there because it gets me back down to Balthazar's house. There's a altar over there where you can pick up sparkles the first time. I think you can get 2 of them. Jump down on the roof here. There's a rat. Most of the time you can ignore them. And so if I look down here into the city, I can see what are, it looks like 3 fell vicious vines. They're blue flowers. They're giant blue flowers that will attack you with a ranged attack. And you can do the same thing to them. They can't reach you up here if you have a bow or some other means. I see 3 of them. I think there's another one down there. I don't know where he's at. Sometimes they just get lost in the blue parts. So let's jump down and see what I've got. See if I can land in the right place. Nope, I just fell in here. We'll take whatever's in the chest just because we're on top of it. Stand on the chest, jump out. I do have double jump, so I didn't have to use it that time. I did not intend to glide there, so let's try to jump up here again. So now we have the Brittle Shroud Petals. So I should have at least 15 of those. If I can find the 4th one, oh, I see him right now. I'll get 20 Brittle Shroud Petals down here. He doesn't see me, or I'm not in range or something. I don't know what it is. So this is a nice area down here, and actually to the right, if you look, there's a light over there over one of the plots in the cemetery, and there is a special sword in the ground over there. I'll show you where the book is that tells you about it first, and then we'll go back there a little later. Let's go ahead and pick up the loot here. Pick up the loot over here. There's a silver chest down there, which I always like to loot that. You know, when I come back, they respawn. What do we get? A wizard's hat. Nice. Oh, there's the book. If it's the first time you've been through here, that'll be glowing so you can see it. If you've been through before like me, you'll have to spot it. And it tells you that it's under a tree. I find the tree kind of hard to find over here. So I look for this lantern that's hanging over it, but there's clearly a tree to the left. It's just kind of in the dark, and you know, it's difficult to see as far as I'm concerned. So you just go down there and you dig in the dark. I'll come back there in a minute and show you exactly where it's at. But for right now, I just want to get the other loot out of here, and I want to go back up to Balthazar's house, which is a safe place and outside of the Shroud, and another place to reset my Shroud protection. Okay, there's another chest over here. Get on that one. Oh, that's a nice bow. That is a random drop, so don't count on that every time. I am running the bow that came from the Hunter's quest line. That is the Hunter has a 100% drop rate on a very nice bow that you can upgrade, and I think it does pretty well early game. And that's what I'm carrying. But if I didn't have that, sometimes you get a nice drop out of the chest down here. You just keep looting those, and you just keep coming back on a regular basis, and you get free goodies. So let's go over here and continue on in my Assassin's Creed style rooftop. You can do all this from the ground. It's not hard to get back up here by just running around. I just avoid a couple of enemies that I could just run past anyway. So I got all those. I'm gonna run over to the house and open the door. I don't think that door is locked, but I have been here before, so it's possible I unlocked it from the inside the first time. So it's always worth coming all the way down inside the building at least one time and making sure the door is open. But I can jump back up, and at this point in time, nothing in here can really touch me, and I'm out of the Shroud. I'm going to go all the way up to the top of the building because there's another chest up here. That might be, what is that, the third silver chest in the area? I think that's all of them. There might be another one. And I got some warrior pants. So let me go ahead and rearrange the things that we got here, and I'll show you, let's say in the top right-hand corner of my inventory. It's kind of a mess, but things are filling up a little bit. That's the bow I'm using. That's the bow I've got. So always pick up the Shroud spores because you can turn them into Shroud cores and use them for other items, and they're going to be very useful throughout the whole game from what I remember. And I think that's it. Oh, those are just kind of regular drops. I'm not worried about those. The runes, the legendary runes, the Shroud sacks. What am I missing here? What am I missing? Oh, it's the petals right there. So those are the petals. So if we look at this 3x3 section over here, I guess you could ignore the Thunder Brute or the Fell Thunder Brute heads. Those aren't super important, although you can turn those into a comfort item for your house. So that's worth, if you have extras, give yourself a little bit of extra rested bonus. So for the rest of these, we can farm all these down here, and you just need to reset and just keep landing down inside the Shroud area, and you can get the Boar Tusks, you can get sacks, you can get the Petals if you come over to Lone Thistle, certainly get legendary runes, and if you keep generating or putting your hands on the Shroud cores, you can keep summoning at the little blue circle in the ground, and you will occasionally get the Fell Critter Queen, and you will occasionally get, well, and most of the time you'll get not the Fell Critter Queen, but if you want to make multiple sets of armor, this is an easy way to do it. It's also good for experience. And these items over here to the left are just the ones that I pulled out of the chests. So those are nice random chest finds, and it's always worth popping in to see what's there. There's the Fell Commander's Bow, which I got from the Hunter quest. It's fully upgraded, and I put a gem in it. So one of the new updates in Update 6 is the gem system, so I am trying that out. I put I think I put a speed or a dexterity, or I don't know what they call it, some kind of a movement-based gem on that one. So after I sprint, I get more damage. So anyway, let me show you where that extra sword is over here. I'm going to stand on top of the roof at Balthazar's place, and in the corner over there, I'm going to go land on the mausoleum, and I'll show you the exact plot where this additional sword is. So I've read the book already. I come over here to the corner. Like, you can see a tree, but really what I see is the lantern. Get my pickaxe out. I don't see any enemies in this area. This is a pretty easy pickup. There is a pile that you can hack into, and as soon as you hit it a couple times, you can see the little red glowing thing, so there's something to find. You can see the skeleton in there, and I can search him. The Hailscourge One-handed Sword. And that's a pretty good sword. If you want to put a gem in it and, upgrade it all the way, I think it's a pretty good early game sword. I think I just picked it up and it had 20 damage, and I could probably boost it up another 20, so it could be in the 40 damage range, and it's a pretty fast weapon too. I think the one I'm carrying though is slightly above that right now, even though it doesn't have a gem slot. So 40 something damage plus a gem slot is the same or better than just the green one I'm carrying that I have upgraded fully. So that's it. That's where you can find all the materials for the armor sets right now, including the giant critter scales, which are, in my opinion, kind of a pain to find, but they're only available if you spawn in that boss. If somebody else finds them, if you find that fell critter queen somewhere else in the game, in the Shroud somewhere, let me know in the comments. Share with everybody here. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of these videos in the future, hit the subscribe button. It's YouTube. You know how to do all those things. Thanks so much for watching. This is Kineer, and I'm out of here.